You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's nice to see you guys all again. It's been a while since we've been here, so we're happy to be back. It's about like 3 weeks. Did you guys get the enough of those free slabs? I hope you guys did. We passed out a whole bunch of them in the last few weeks, and hopefully you guys will have your share, and we'll have like another contest coming up. Tonight we have a special guest, Amy Hunt. She is the writer of a new comic book called Ninja Witch.
Yes.
And she does this in collaboration with her fan fave artist husband, Justin Hunt, who's also an Artist Alley shopping network artist, just like Mog Park. And we'll be talking to her, and we'll be exploring some other things outside of Ninja Witch as well. And we'll be right back after this intro break.
Hello.
Hi.
This is our gorgeous lady, Amy Hunt. I love your. Is it like daylight still there?
It is.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
It's
a
really
little bit.
bright.
Wow. It's like
'Cause,
dark here.
Yeah, over here it's dark. We've had it overcast for the last 2 days. Just when I thought it was getting warm, which is the kind of weather that I like, it got all cold again. So now, for 1 week, I was wearing shorts, and I was really happy. But now I'm back to thick socks, jeans, and wearing a jacket around the house to stay warm.
Oh, we still haven't had any warm weather yet. We get like these little tiny bursts of sun up here, and then torrential downpour lately. It's quite gross.
Yeah. I had to go out today, and I was only going about 30 minutes east of where I'm at, and the weather there was a big change from where we're at. It was raining there. There was a little bit of hail, and
Really?
Yep. There's 3 accidents because of all that I had to get through. So instead of taking like an hour and 15 minutes, it took me like 2 hours and 40 minutes to complete that trip. But I just can't wait for this warmer weather.
Oh, me too.
I'm originally from Hawaii, so I like the heat. And I know that you've been to Hawaii recently. Was that your first time there?
I've been to Maui once before, but it was the first time for my son.
Okay. And what was the best part of that trip for you?
Oh gosh, there was a lot.
I know, because I saw the postings that Justin was putting up, and he was constantly putting up pictures every day, and I'm like biting my teeth. Says, oh man, I'm just like, he's making me homesick. I said, I know where that is. Oh, I know that, and just on and on, enjoying it all. You guys did a lot there.
We did, and he was the coordinator and travel planner, and he packed a lot in. But we went to like such a great luau. It was so interactive. It was so great. Right. And then my son loved Pearl Harbor. He's obsessed with like all things military, and especially World War II. Loves World War II.
Oh, okay, that's like me too.
That was like his highlight.
You guys went to the Polynesian Cultural Center for the luau.
Yes, and it was amazing, so great. Probably a good thing. Like one of the most fun things was my stepson got engaged there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
So that was fun to be a part of that.
Now, did you know that ahead of time?
We did. Yes. Okay. We knew.
All right. Okay. She didn't know.
She had no idea.
She thought she was just going to go on a fun trip.
Yeah.
Where are you originally from, Amy?
I am originally from Oregon.
Oh.
So I didn't move far. Didn't go too far.
Okay. Is that where you're at now?
No, I'm in Washington State.
All right. Okay. Gotcha. All right, that's cool. So it is there a big difference between the weather there and Oregon?
Well, where I like spent most of my childhood is in Southern Oregon, and
Okay.
that was a huge. I moved up to Portland when I was 15, and Southern Oregon is well, at least growing up. I think it's changed a little bit since I left, but it was dry and warm and nothing like it is up here, where it's just cold and damp all the time.
Is Southern Oregon where Portland is?
Portland's Northern Oregon.
Yeah, northern.
Oh,
Yeah.
so Southern is.
So there's, when
I
you
grew
look
up
at
in
the-
Medford, so that's
Okay.
like Southern. It's like
Yeah.
Medford, Ashland, and then California.
Oh,
So you can think of it as that it's closer to San Francisco.
but
That's
that
how
makes sense because Amy, when I read the bio of the character, it's from the Salem, and Salem is in Oregon, right?
There is a Salem in Oregon, yeah.
Ah, is it the how you started is that the impetus of all of this?
No. Actually, this all started because I couldn't figure out the name to the show on Netflix, Warrior Nun. I kept getting it wrong.
Ariella.
No, just Warrior Nun. I
Oh,
could
yeah,
not,
okay.
Yeah,
I
we
could
watched
not
the
figure
season.
out Warrior Nun.
Uh-huh.
I kept getting it wrong, and I kept asking Justin. I was like, "Hey, you want to watch Ninja Witch?" What are you talking about? It's like Ninja Witch. We're watching it on Netflix. Do you want to watch Ninja Witch? And we would just go back and forth. He's like, I don't know what you're saying.
You know what that reminds us? You do the same. I think we get so confused with that show, The Last of Us.
Yeah, The Last of
We
Us.
keep saying, "Oh, do you want to watch the two of us?"
Yeah, just
the
the two of us.
two of us.
Yeah,
We keep saying
I
that.
couldn't, yeah, every week it went like that till the whole thing
Even to the
finished.
very end. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what's that again? Like
Yeah.
both of us.
Yeah,
Like
we couldn't get
both
it.
of us.
So you're the instigator of this project.
Yes.
Okay.
All
But
because I couldn't figure out the name of a show.
Are you a writer by trade?
No,
Oh, yeah, okay, that's pretty interesting.
I am
But
not.
you've had an inclination to write.
Well, actually, it was just we were just sitting there, and I was like, "Hey, that could be a pretty cool character. Has anybody ever done that? Have you ever heard of one?" And he was like, "Why don't you Google it?" And we didn't find anything. And so he was just like, "All right, come up with a backstory, and then we will go from there. I might know some people who can help us out with this, and we can go from there." So I came up with the backstory, but I mean, I went to college. I took all the English classes and the writing classes and everything, but no, I'm not a writer, and I certainly don't know how to write a comic, because if I'm going to be completely honest with everybody, I am new to this world. I had never actually read a comic book in my life.
Wow.
And you wanted, okay, so then that raises the question, why did you want to do a comic? Because you could also go into a novel.
We could have, yeah, but probably because Justin's in the comic book world, and he knows people, and he can draw the character, and I think that's what made it so we didn't make the novel.
So yeah, so it is an industry that he's somewhat familiar with.
Yes.
And he's got some of the connections that are going on already.
Yeah.
So now, did you find it difficult trying to write? Because a lot of people, when they start up trying to write a comic book, a movie, or anything that gets serialized in a way like that, they're not sure how to do that, because you've got to deal with like pages or acts that compartmentalizes part of the story. How did that come about with you?
Justin.
He was guiding you like all the way.
Oh yeah. Well, so he did most of the writing. Like he did like the actual scripting of things out. We came up with the story together, and we had this big giant whiteboard.
Oh.
It's in his art studio right now. We have this big giant whiteboard that was a mess. It was an absolute mess with all of the ideas that we had on it. And so we came up with the actual story, and he was the one who scripted it out, just because he knows how to lay out the comics and how they should be laid out. And I would not have even have known how to do anything like that.
That's good. Now, did you as he's guiding you through that, were you writing down a script to follow, or you just worked it out on? It sounds like you just did maybe the pages on the board.
Yeah, we worked it out on the board. We came up with like the list of characters, everything that they were going to be getting into, all of that stuff. And then from there we wrote out the actual storyline, and then took parts of the storyline and put it into a script.
Okay. Was that the storyline is the entire story for the 4 issues that you have planned?
No, we just did the this first chapter for this first book and the prologue. And actually we do have the first chapter for the second book already done and ready to go.
Right.
And then we'll continue like that. But it's actually like the stories that we have for this character are endless, and it's easy. It's easy to come up with these stories. Like there's the way we're taking her. It's really easy to come up with these.
Huh.
Wow, that's interesting. Now that
that's really.
Are you finding when you say stories, is it the character that's driving the story, or is it more of the story itself? If that makes sense to you.
Say that again.
Right. Do you find that it's the character that's driving the story? In other words, you can think about like the character and put her in a situation and see how she's going to deal with it. Or are you taking like the environment that you've created for her and letting that letting that come to determine the stories?
I think what you're trying to say is, if I understood you correctly, sorry to interrupt. I think it's is the character driving the story, or is the plot driving the story? I mean, for you, the world. I mean,
that's a great question. It's definitely the character. The character is driving it. Everything is based around this character. She is the driving force. Without getting into too much detail.
No worries. Okay, can you describe a little bit of the world that she's in? Kind of like set it up for us and the viewers.
This is the image which I'm drawing. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just to let everybody know, Mog is drawing a ninja witch here on 8.5 by 11. If you do want to place a bid on it, we'll start off easy at $50. So if that's what you like, just go ahead and type it in the comments, and we'll call it out as we see it.
Okay, so Amy, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No
Start your saga.
Okay, so basically she has a naturally long life. She was born in the 1200s. And I believe it was the 1200s is what we came up with. And got her powers then, has been all over Europe with her powers and everything. Ended up in feudal Japan, where she trained with this secret women's ninja ninja warriors that they had there. And that's how she became ninja, and she's a witch. And then basically she's going throughout time fighting for other witches and oppressed people and all these things. So really, and there's some fun little things that come up in every story, which we think is pretty fun, which also helps move the stories along and helps us create the next chapters, the next books. So we're really excited.
That's cool. I unfortunately, Mog and Mel's connection seems to have dropped out momentarily.
Oh, no.
But that
Oh,
does
great,
sound.
it's me. This is fun.
No, it's with me and you. You know, I find that fascinating. It's a really interesting way to tackle a story like that. Which, I mean, you could come off kind of pulpy with a name like, you know, Ninja Witch, but still have, like, you know, it's bound in reality. There they are. Welcome back.
Yeah, you know,
Sorry about that.
this darling of a man here,
My fat
he
fingers.
he closed the
Yeah.
tab like so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to get to some other places that I need to.
And I
read
was
stuff,
it's
but
gonna get exciting,
I
and
know,
then just
you know,
cut
okay.
it off. Like,
All right. Okay. So you got
she was about to talk about the background of the
oh
story.
yeah, the background.
And this character,
the world that she's
character,
in,
yeah.
that Ninja Witch was
Yeah.
in. Okay. And
Okay, you want me to go? Okay. So basically, she was born in the 1200s and gets her power. She comes from her parents are both witches, and so she gets her powers from them. Becomes this mighty, super powerful witch. She spends time in Europe, and then ends up in feudal Japan, where she trains with the secret ninja, all women ninja.
Okay.
Ninja warriors.
Okay.
And that's how she gets the Ninja Witch.
Mhm.
And from there she travels, and like I said, she's got this unnaturally long life, so she goes all throughout the world basically, fighting for oppressed peoples and other witches and helping them. And it's really, it just makes it really easy to write these stories with so much time that we have.
Right. Now, is there? Are you fascinated with the Japanese culture? Is that why you went into Ninja Witch?
The feudal Japan, I think you said, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's we got into it I mean, obviously because the ninja part of the Ninja Witch, but the way we were able to do this, yeah, the whole ninja warrior with like samurais, you know, I mean, just all of that stuff is it's fascinating. Again, you know, my son is kind of an influence when it comes to stuff like that too, because he loves the weaponry, he loves the fights, he loves everything, like watching all those movies and ninja movies, and so.
But do
I
you
see.
because you said the story came easily to you, and because kind of like the character wrote herself.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, do you consume a lot of? I'm guessing the genre is action, right? It's a okay. So do you then naturally watch because of your son? Maybe you just watched a lot of like action.
We do.
Okay.
We do, not only just because of him. Like, I grew up watching it. My dad was a huge Chuck Norris fan, and Bruce Lee, and you know, all that fun stuff. So I grew up watching all that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my era too.
So you're actually more like a tomboy then.
Oh yes, very much.
So very masculine energy. You got a son. You have no daughters, right? Just
no daughters.
And I met your husband. He's very masculine. So
yeah.
So it's like, wow, like a lot of masculine energy, and then hence you created this action. That means internally you're more like a man. That's cool.
Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, we wanted, especially with Ninja Witch, we didn't want the typical sexy, you know, outfit where boobs are popping out or anything. You know, we wanted her to be completely covered up, but just like this badass woman who can kick anybody's butt with magic or without.
Yeah, and we actually like that decision, and we noticed that on the covers that she's all covered up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Mysterious.
Yeah. Which ninjas usually are? They're all covered up.
Yeah.
They don't really expose too much.
I love this cover.
Oh,
Right.
are you just saying that?
No. Because I think obviously after Justin's, because I saw Justin's first, I think this was the very first one that I saw. And I was just like, oh my God, I love it. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking about so much about her. So
yeah, that piece is actually large. Okay, it's larger than 11 by 17.
18 by 24.
Yes, yeah, something like I think actually it's more like 19 by 25. So it's a little bit larger than that. And we're going to be bringing it for the very first time to Las Vegas Comic Con.
All right.
We'll be having it framed up, and it'll be a part of our art gallery there. And just like a little bit backstory for everybody there, right? That piece was done last year back in I think May, right? So we've been waiting for a long time to show it, right? And we didn't want to show it until you guys were ready to put it out there. So it would be in our studio, and I'd pass it by as I go in there and go, damn, I can't wait to show that piece. I can't wait to show that.
I know. And we were supposed to have launched this probably a year ago or so. But difference of opinions and the company that we were working with, it just ended up not working out. So we did have to postpone it a little bit, but it's almost here finally. And now we can share.
That could be a good thing, because it gives you time to go back and make changes, adjustments, and make it better.
Yeah.
Because I know with a lot of things that I'll work on, right? I'll work on it, and I just I won't turn it in right away, because I want a couple days where I can review it, take a look at it, and see what I think might be, some small changes I can make that'll make it better, right? So but I think it is it's part of our process, and how we work on there, right? So some of the people here are saying that they're really excited,
super excited
to see this, and we are too. Shannon is saying, working on more Ninja Witch pages tonight.
Yay! Hi, Shannon.
Oh, Shannon is the interior artist?
He is our interior artist. Yes.
Wow.
Very good.
He's done amazing. He has done amazing work.
Do you want to get on, Shannon?
And then
do you want Shannon to pop in? Is it too random suddenly now?
Yeah. Let's do
okay.
Hey, now Kyle's saying ninjas were so big in the 80s, they were everywhere, and he was right. We saw so much in the 80s. That's when Golden Harvest was still kind of around, putting out all the kung fu movies. And I used to go to a theater in Hawaii that was called Hawaii Theater, and go there on a Saturday. I'd first hit the comic book store, head over there, watch 3 kung fu movies for $3, get a popcorn and soda for $1.50. That was my whole Saturday.
Wow.
I love watching all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Kyle, couldn't you bring up the cover again, please? Okay. There's actually a sad story attached to this for me personally, because while I was working on this piece, this is totally not related, so don't feel bad, but I got a call from my younger sister, and she's been taking care of our dog, and then they said, we're gonna put him down on about this coming Friday at the time. And I remember that deadline time happened to coincide with our dog Happy. Happy's euthanization date. So at first, because I'm always more like a career first type of person, so I said, I can't go, I'm sorry. And I just went back to work. But for me, emotions always come later, sometimes years later. So one day, about when it was only a day before I was mad deadline to finish this, it suddenly hit me, this it's like a secondary voice coming to me and say, hey, you sure? Because this, and then it made me feel all the memories. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. So what I did was that I stayed up. I didn't sleep at all. I stayed up for 48 hours, and I just completed the piece, the final touch. I didn't, and I sent Amy a message like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't scan it in right now because I want to go fly to where my parents live and then see my dog and say goodbye to him." So every time I look at this piece, I don't know, it just reminds me of him. So yeah, that was very interesting. Sorry.
But yeah, we're pleased with the way how it came out, and
It's beautiful.
and we can't wait for that.
Yeah.
And so, but that is not the only cover that Ninja Witch is going to get. It's getting some.
We have so many.
Yeah,
Wow, look at that.
that's
I
right.
don't know how many is normal for a Kickstarter. Normal. I don't know because this is my first one, but we have a lot. We have a lot, and they're all great.
Yeah, you have more than a handful. I don't know what is normal either, Amy. And I keep looking at a bunch of like Kickstarters, and some of it does get crazy because they'll have like 20 something different covers on there, and I think that's too much. You know, I think that what you and Justin decided on, it is good enough. It's not too wild, and you've got some pretty good art.
Oh yeah,
From good people like Marissa Pope and Mike DeBalfo.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So and others, as you can see here. Okay, yeah. That's
and the Kickstarter one of the packages that we're going to offer is, I think we're calling it like the Femme Fatale package or something. So it's going to be like you can get all of the covers from all of the female artists, because we do have quite a few female artists that we've worked with, which is fun.
There you go. Take a look at those. Yeah. And you guys, if you guys want to get notified on this Kickstarter, it is going to launch April 19th. Hit that link up there, get notified, and jump on the bandwagon. Back it, comment, share, like it, do everything. Help this out, help Amy out and Justin. This is going to be their first project that they're launching. So let's give them the sort of support that we can. And on that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Amy Hunt and for more Ninja Witch.
Okay.
Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show, on The Experience, comic culture and sales.
Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
There. Welcome back to SketchUp, and you're watching us on The Experience. And once again, Mog is drawing Ninja Witch, 8.5 by 11, and starting bid on that is $50. So if you want to place a bid on that, you can.
Come here, say hi. I've already been talking about it. Well, come here. You
He
can
was
say
just
first.
trying not to disturb us, like, being very careful.
Hey.
Hello. You were so cute, trying to be careful.
we don't get.
He hasn't quite gotten the ninja
that's
sneakiness
kinda
yet.
And I'm looking over some of the comments here. Sounds like you've got a really good fan here with
Yeah. I like
Haley
that.
Anderson's. Got to get them all. Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
Hi,
Justin
Haley.
Cover Swoons. Yep. Justin Cover. Yep. She's all over the Justin Cover.
Justin,
Back it.
Yes.
Follow that launch. Click on
Yes,
that
Justin.
and get on there. Okay.
you know, I have to say this, Mel, and Amy. One of the rarest thing to love you, Amy. Haley says,
I love you.
One of the hardest thing to do is to work if you're in already a romantic relationship and now you're working business or commercially, that's one of the hardest thing to do. I mean, relationship is hard enough anyway. And then you put that in there. So Amy, how are you coping? Are you okay?
Actually, we're doing really well. There are sometimes I'm kind of like, dude, listen to my ideas. My turn to talk, kind of a thing. Sometimes that happens. But for the most part, we work really well together.
Oh, wow. So judging by what you just said there, it seems like you're the one with the ideas, like nonstop idea like that.
Actually, it's him, which is why sometimes he doesn't let me have a word in.
Oh.
Because he can just get going. He's just got that brain that's just like nonstop, go, go, go. So when I do I'm like, dude, stop, focus, listen to me.
Let me have a say in there.
He's usually really good too at just being like, okay, yes, ma'am, you get what you want. He's good at that too.
Okay. He understands that it's going to be a compromise.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very good at that.
That's good to hear. That's great to hear.
What about the art direction? Are you also the one who said, "Hey, Justin, I want it to look like this. Make her more like that"?
There are some times when I do get to say things, but he is the art director. So he gets final say, but he goes off of my wishes, my ideas, what my direction for this character, but he ultimately gets the final say. And he does ask my opinion on how I think certain things will look and if they're missing something, but.
And okay, so we saw who you have as the penciler for the interior pages.
Shannon.
Shannon. Mm-hmm. And who do you have for your colorist?
Yeah.
Our colorist. Yeah. Our colorist is Nick Capone.
Okay, Nick. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're familiar with Nick. We've seen him working with other publishers as well. So he's well known.
He's done some really great stuff.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. It's really exciting to seeing it all come to life.
Right now, is the book completed already, or are you guys still trying to work a few things out before it goes into actual production?
It's pretty much done.
Okay.
So once the Kickstarter starts, it'll be going into production shortly after that.
Right. So it launches June 19th. When do you expect
the Kickstarter actually start? The Kickstarter launches this month.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. April 19th. Yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking June. But yeah, April 19th. And then when are you expecting to mail the books out?
Let me check my notes.
Okay.
He wrote me up some notes.
Do you know that?
I'm thinking June, July, maybe August.
I think it might be August. He did not write me that note.
Usually it's about like the earliest is going to be about like 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to wait for the funds to get released to you.
Right. So I think that's like the one thing he didn't put in my notes. Because I know he's
and
working
that's
on
fine.
Kickstarter
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I think I've heard him say August.
Yeah, because I know he's already sent us a message saying that he wants the covers for the next issue.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
And
that I think we're going to be starting that Kickstarter in November.
very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Hi, Chad.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's actually a good thing. Not a lot of people can do that. They'll start an issue like right, that soon, that quick. Right?
Yeah.
But it's an advantage because you don't let your readers enough time to like forget what happened, right? Because if they do forget, then they may not be interested in picking up the next issue. So that's kind of good to hear that you're going to launch it in November.
Well, and
it'll
like
be
I said,
easy
like
to jump back on.
these stories are so easy to write and easy to come up with. They're like writing itself, really.
Fantastic.
So it's easy to just back to back.
Yeah, and that's usually a good sign too, when you hear that the creative people, especially the writers and the artists, say that wow, it's an easy story to write. There wasn't that much to figure out, so there's usually a good flow in the story, and things work and snap together.
I wonder if it's also because you don't have to bother about prose. You just only have to worry about dialogue, and if you
Oh no, nothing.
if you naturally because you watch a lot of media already, like you're just already thinking that way, and maybe that helped. I'm just wondering.
I'm sorry, my dogs were barking.
Oh,
Yeah, we saw you have a dog and a cat, huh?
No, we have two dogs. They're just small dogs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they're being, yeah, here comes one.
He's wagging his tail and stuff.
aw.
No, you're not late, Chad. You still got an hour and a half for the show.
I think James said hi to Amy.
Okay.
Oh, James. Hi, James.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Stevie B, always good to see you here. Thank you
Hello.
very much
Yeah,
for coming
And
back
yes,
after
this
the
is
show.
on auction. Starting bids 50.
Okay. So Mog is working on a Ninja Witch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to know. And we are still waiting to get an opening bid on that for $50. James Holler also says hello. Okay.
But yeah, Amy.
Oh, okay. Haley starts it off with 50. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for
Haley.
that.
You're
50.
wonderful.
If you want to, the next bid that we can accept on that is going to be 55 or higher. So it's up to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And, tell us a little bit, Mark, of what you've done here.
Huh, me?
Yeah, I can see that it is a bust.
So this is the Ninja Witch.
Right.
It's spoiler alert. Okay, her face is showing. So she's off her work right now.
Okay.
So I think it's more like it goes up to here. It's a bust. So I'm just gonna do a sketch pencil of her with the bust here. Oh, he wants attention.
She can be a bit annoying.
Photo bomb.
Wow.
Photo bomb. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
they're so cute.
She's an attention whore.
Oh, I didn't know she. Usually, like my dog, he never liked being held. So.
Oh my gosh, she would be held 24/7 if we'd let her.
What?
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
But she sheds everywhere. When I put her down, I'll just have a whole white arm.
Can I kind of technically geek out with you, Amy?
Yes, please.
Okay, so female fighter, right? The character here.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing for me that I was always pondering about was how can like a female realistically be able to say, one-on-one match with a male like fighter?
Mm-hmm.
They're both fighters. How can they? What is the chance of possibility that they can win without relying too much on strength? So did you like perhaps thought about some of that angle and come up with like choreography or techniques that is like, wow, this is kind of cool. This makes sense.
Well, that's like where like the ninja part would come in, because they're very meticulous on how they're gonna attack somebody, approach somebody.
Mhm.
And yeah, women are just, generally speaking, we are not nearly as strong as men.
Mhm.
It's a generalization. Don't come at me.
Yeah.
But we are physically weaker. But so you need to use a little bit more of the cunning, a little bit more of the
Yeah.
speed if you have it, or just use your brain. Sometimes when guys fight, they
Exactly.
get all muscle and just want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. See, I was thinking about all kinds of way on how we can like as a female, like with that stature versus like natural strength born given or naturally born. My mind is like getting twisted right now. But either way, like men versus women, it's always been like a hard thing realistically to figure out. But what I've seen, the best ones I've seen there was this one martial arts story where the female had a like super long range weapon that could swing, and sometimes it would break into chains and it would make elongate. So as long as like yeah, like she had like a long range, nobody could get past her barrier. And then the swing of the weapon, in the speed, of course, she was really agile. That was her strength. And then the speed and the high technicality on how she used her weapon was how she could just beat these anybody that came at her. So that was the best one I've seen so far. And I always like whenever I look at a female versus male fight, I want some realism where it's like, okay, kind of like what you said here. It's actually more intriguing if you think about it. Like Batman, he doesn't have powers right now, but we all love him because he can utilize his whatever he has into an advantage.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, did you have also like techniques that you came up with, and did you have a lot of like, I don't know, like trouble coming up with the choreography of things? Because that's for me, it's always hard to imagine like choreographing the entire like fight scene like that.
No, we actually, to be honest, we gave Shannon pretty much like we gave him control over how he was going to draw all the interiors and the fight scenes, and he was amazing. He did some really good fight scenes. We may have given some direction on how to do things and what we were looking for, but he pretty much had creative control over that.
Okay, that's cool. The artist is the one then.
Right. Okay. So just to add a few more things on here, right? For me, because I do have a martial arts background, and I don't think women are that much of a disadvantage as maybe they were before, especially now. I mean, you watch these women in like UFC, okay? In the beginning, they may not have looked as strong, but now, man, they are coming in really powerful. I mean, these girls are packing punches with power, right? And you don't win a fight with just speed, and you don't win a fight with just strength. It's a combination of everything.
Yeah, weapon.
And if you understand the techniques that's used, a lot of it is dealt with like leverage. So with that, you don't need strength.
Really?
It's a matter of balance.
Really?
Right, keeping your balance. Right. It's like how I told you, you can carry something heavy on your shoulder a lot more than you think. If you just try, and if you feel it, it doesn't feel as heavy. But if you let your mind believe that it's heavy, and that's what will defeat you, is because that's what you believe, right? But if you try it, it's not hard at all.
Oh,
right.
And that's the cool thing about martial arts, is that they do teach you that.
Yes, they do teach you that. They teach you. In fact, the whole thing about martial arts is not being the strongest, not being the fastest, but utilizing the techniques of balance, the techniques of focusing that power that you can use as best you can with the small frame. Okay, you can see these little girls. I've had girls in my class, and they can flip a guy that's about twice as much as they weigh very easily. Okay. It's all just a matter of technique, right? You tuck in under, you get underneath with your shoulder, pull them over, they come right across very easily. It's not hard to do at all. Anybody can learn that in 5 minutes. Yeah. Stevie B says our dog was reacting to Amy's dog barking. I think she's extra excited. We're calling it her birthday today. 4 years today since we adopted Mel from the shelter. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, James said his son took taekwondo. You tried all kinds, and for you, you like taekwondo the best.
Yeah, I took taekwondo. I was taking Japanese karate for 2 years. I tried kung fu for 1, and then I ended up in taekwondo for 5 years.
You said you liked it because it was more direct.
It was more direct,
and then it fit your style, right?
It fit because I was following the teachings of Bruce Lee.
Oh yes.
And Bruce Lee was big in the 70s, and I tried karate earlier in my life during then, and I didn't like it. But man, when that Bruce Lee movie came out, and all my friends were going in and said, "Hey Mel, you got to join us. We got to join us. Yeah, we're gonna learn some karate, and then we're gonna make a karate a movie." I was in. I thought I was gonna be in Hollywood.
So what is her? If you can tell without any much spoiler, I guess. What is one of her magical powers that she can use that she can has an advantage when she fights?
Pretty much anything at this point. Like she can manifest just about anything that she needs to. She can, I think we've already showed some pictures. So she can create portals and portal people. At one point, she creates an explosion with her hands. So it's basically anything. The little pouch that you can see right there hanging off of her belt. It's a pouch for crystals that she uses when need be. And
wow, okay.
Haley Anderson is asking, is she a solo type fighter or does she have a team?
She does have a team.
Right. She did say that she comes from kind of like a group of female warriors.
Mm-hmm. From feudal Japan.
Right. So you do have that. Okay.
That's who she trained with. And
where
then
did she train her power? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Go ahead, Amy.
She does have a coven that they do magic, they do the ninja.
Mm-hmm. They practice their ninja skills and so forth. Okay. And once again, Mog is drawing a Ninja Witch. We do have a bid on it for $50 already. And we are still accepting bids of $55 and higher. And the current high bidder on that is Haley. So thank you again for that. And on that note, we're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with Amy Hunt. And we're going to talk more about Ninja Witch and the world that she's in. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
Locator.com to find a store near you.
Comic Collectibles is here for you every Wednesday with AR Comics for two very important reasons: to sell you rare, one-of-a-kind comics that you'll love, and to confuse AR with old man talk. You see, Rex and John are, how should I put this, ancient as the roots of the mountains. So every week, Rex and John fill in AR in yet another area of pop culture that he missed because he's too young, just didn't have the time, or just really doesn't care about. It's a real public service they provide. Come buy some super rare and unique comics, while old men explain long-dead sci-fi shows to a younger man making that confused puppy face. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern with Rex, John, and AR Comics. Comic Collectibles on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
Welcome back to Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. We have Amy Hunt as our special guest today, writer of Ninja Witch. She's doing this in collaboration with her husband, Justin. And you may know him already from the other works that he's done, including Lady Death. And we currently have a bid again on Mog's piece for $50. So if you want to place a bid on that, you can go ahead and do so. So Amy, we've got a little bit of a touch of the world that's Ninja Witch is in, and we got a question here: does Ninja Witch have a birth name that will be revealed at some point? Sounds like she's got some inside information here. Go ahead.
At some point, yes, we will reveal her name, but
okay.
not in this book.
Okay.
Oh.
Can you say why? No, maybe I don't want to ask.
Yeah. Don't do it. Yeah.
I don't want to reveal too much.
Did you catch the quote, Mel? Kyle. He also trained in martial arts. The martial arts of the moderato. Moderator.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. Right. And then Steve B is asking, are steroids an issue in the field of martial arts? Or do students just follow the teachings of the discipline?
I don't know. I don't know much about martial arts world. So
martial arts, in the most part, they're not just trying to teach you self-defense, but they're trying to teach you also to be an honorable person. So taking steroids is not something I've seen that's been condoned by dojos, but I have heard of some people taking them for various reasons. So it does exist out there.
My real question is, does it really help in anger management or something? Like, you know how they send martial arts like kids who are in very maybe anger issues or violent, and they shove them in the martial arts, and logically it sounds like that's a terrible thing to do, because they're already violent, but they keep saying, martial arts is great because it helps you monitor something inside. Is it true? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, because it helps you to become aware of what you're doing and the impact that you're making. So they try to teach you good. They teach you lessons on how to relax and bring that energy down, so you're not so explosive.
Really? Even though it's all about hitting people?
It's controlled, right? But even when you fight, you don't fight in anger, because when you fight in anger, you're gonna make mistakes.
Okay.
Right, and you're not fighting for the right reasons that they want you to fight for, right? Because one of the first things they'll tell you that you don't fight, you run away, you try to avoid it. Right? Fighting is your last resort. Okay. That is your last resort. And so that's what I was taught.
I don't know. I think it's strange. You go to a place where you try to study how to fight, and then they're like, fighting is the last resort. It's like
because it's self-defense.
It's kind of an oxymoron to me, but
because they also honor life, right?
Okay.
They honor life, and they want you to respect. And they want you to try and diffuse a situation to get out of it without hurting anyone. And hopefully, as you diffuse it, you get to know each other and become, partners, friends, or whatnot in a better way. Yeah. But let's get back on to Ninja Witch. So we got a little bit of a taste of the world that she's in and the character. Now, in a story, you always want to have an antagonist, Do we have one?
Yes.
She is going to have a main antagonist. In this book, you will not meet her yet.
Of course, because in this book it is an intro. Can you tell us a little bit of the antagonist, or is that too much?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I'm at liberty to say it. Dang it, Justin.
Okay, well, it must be pretty good.
Actually, no. I think I can tell a little bit. I believe. I think he's
Yeah,
already.
okay,
actually,
okay.
It's just a general.
Yes.
General.
Yeah,
idea.
he's actually already talked about it in something. So, it's actually her name will be Spider Queen.
Ooh.
Because I am terrified of spiders. So obviously, that's how that came about.
Lovely. Yes.
Made it easy.
Okay, that's going to be very interesting to see. Are you and Justin readers? You guys like to read?
Yes.
Okay, and what kind of books do you like to read?
Oh boy. I've read, oh gosh, what do I read? I read, I like historical fiction books. I love historical fiction. I love history. I like biographies. I like witchy books. I've read a lot of magical witch books. Yeah. Justin reads comics. He reads lots of comics. He reads biographies. He reads all of the different Star Wars stories that are out there. We're pretty big readers.
Okay, all right, yeah. So it kind of gives us an idea like where some of this is coming from. I was trying to see if there was a relationship of where the idea of Spider Queen came from, because ever since Drizzt, which is a character that's written by R.A. Salvatore, and it's a character that I like, but in there as well, they kind of like have like a Spider Queen, right? And ever since they came out with that, Spider Queens have been kind of like popping out.
Oh, really? Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. So it's good, but it's still going to be interesting to see what you guys come up with this Spider Queen.
Yeah. Well, I can't really divulge anymore.
No, and you don't have to. Yeah.
It's pretty. She has a pretty cool backstory as well.
Okay. Right, and that's where it can get like a little interesting as well, right? Because you don't want to just develop your main characters, but you also want to develop your other characters that are in the story, especially your antagonists, right?
Yeah.
If you can develop a feel for them as well as your main character, it makes it like all the more better. And so you're saying that the Spider Queen is your main antagonist. Are there other villains that are going to come up first, or is that something that the Spider Queen is just making things happen and we just don't see her yet until you're ready for her? Or?
Yeah, no, the main, and not the main, she's the main, but right now in this book we've got what we have called the Jaganati. I want to say my son is the one who came up with that name, but they in this book are the ones who are her nemesis. They're the ones fighting against her.
Against the Spider Queen?
Against Ninja Witch.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
They're fighting against Ninja Witch for an artifact.
Okay.
Ooh, when she said artifact, my mind just exploded. It's like Indiana Jones / like.
Exactly.
She
said exactly. I was right.
Yeah, because she did say she likes history, right? So, yeah, because then if you do that, right?
Wow.
Because ever since they came, like Dan Brown, when he came out with his books, and that was an explosion of the way how he tied history with art. And all that, people were just like loving it. Even I even loved reading those books and couldn't wait to read more of it. But it seems like it was already kind of happening. But ever since Dan Brown came on the scene, there's a lot more books that are written with that kind of creativity, where they do tie in the history into it, right? And I actually like it, right? So they've got what's that one series now that's playing
Oh.
National Treasure,
Oh yeah.
right?
She knows it.
Yeah, because if you're liking that kind of stuff, you like to see. I like to see like how they use that information, and how they tie it in and to something, and it kind of gives you an insight as to other possibilities, even though it may be like off track in a way, but it is kind of interesting to see. Stevie B writes, The Amazing Adventures of Kevlar and Clay by Michael Chabon is a must-read if you're into both comics and historical fiction.
Oh,
You will
okay.
take note of that. Yeah. Okay.
Cavalier?
Yeah. Cavalier, maybe. Cavalier, maybe is I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Mm.
Right.
Looks like Cavalier with a K.
Yeah, Cavalier with a K.
Okay, Cavalier
And
with
now
K.
you said that Ninja Witch carries a pouch.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And she said that she has stones in there. And I had asked you earlier before, like what are one of your things that you're interested in? So I
Yes.
can see like where that came from, right? But a lot of people aren't really like all that familiar with that and what those can be. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've always been into shiny, sparkly things. I like it. But like rock hounding. I'm a big rock hounder. My mom loves it. I've got a nephew that's totally into it. We have some property a little bit down south where we've got a creek running through it, and we will just look for rocks. We find agates and quartz, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
It's so much fun. And then during lockdown, right at lockdown time, I got hit with an autoimmune disease, and it hit me hard. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And during that time, I ended up out of nowhere becoming allergic to ibuprofen, which was my pain reliever of choice.
Oh no!
And now, like it's bad. It's like anaphylaxis. It's really bad. And so I was just searching for any sort of relief, anything that I could do to help, since doctors couldn't figure it out and everything. And so I ended up turning to crystals. I was reading books and learning about their healing properties and what you can do with them. And then it just became like Ninja Witch. She's a witch. Of course she can use crystals, but she can really tap into their power and use them for explosions and force fields or whatever if need be.
Okay, you dropped the story there.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I'm really curious. Did the stones help you?
They do, yeah. And you know what? Maybe it's all in my head. I don't know, but I tell you, they help a lot. So the autoimmune disease I have is a thyroid one, where my immune system attacks my thyroid, and I've got this one I've got a couple of these necklaces of like lapis lazuli stones. And when I wear it, I swear it makes me feel better. It helps with sometimes it feels like I'm getting choked out, like my thyroid is swelling or whatever, and it chokes me. And I swear it feels like it brings it down. So it's not a choky feeling.
Wait, so only lapis lazuli can do that for you?
No, it's any of the throat chakra stones. So a lot of the blue stones will do that. They're also known for communicating stones, like communication stones and stuff. But for me, I noticed the lapis lazuli has really helped.
Oh, that makes sense.
What is
that makes sense.
What do you mean by chakra?
I think there's 7 chakras, I suppose.
Yeah, the 7 chakras. It kind of helps ground and help. There's the head, stomach. It's all through the body there. So great, Haley. Oh, another thing that we have in common. So the chakras, it basically centers you and will bring your I don't know how to explain it right now. I've got some brain fog happening, but yeah, so it basically is just, it helps center everything, and it, like, certain stones go with certain colors of the chakra, which would go in a certain part of your body, and just helps ground you and center you.
Interesting.
I'm really bad at it.
Like
I apologize.
no worries. Yeah, I kind of get it.
Yeah, I think
I
it's here.
usually, before a while, I didn't believe in that kind of stuff. I didn't think like, well, how does something like that is going to affect you by just placing it next to you, right? But now science is showing us that we actually have there are things, there's energies within us, within just like an atom, right? So one of the things that I learned recently is that if you look at an atom, right, in a microscope, okay, and you see the way how the electrons are moving around it, right, it has a very set pattern, okay? Now, if somebody else went to go look at it, the pattern actually changes.
You're talking about motion, right? You're talking about how they repeatedly move.
Yes, I'm talking about
It's,
how
it's motion, then you're talking about, not a pattern, right?
No, it's the orbit that the electrons have around the nucleus, right?
Okay.
So for one person,
Yeah.
it'll be in one set orbit. Okay, if you're looking at that specific electron. For another person, that orbit will change. Right? So it's like your body has like some effect on it. So if that's true, then why not stones will have like some kind of impact on that? And we've seen that like ancient cultures, they have used stones to help align. Yeah, to help align energies like within the body. Okay. And so, you know, and that's something that I used to say, you know, that's a bunch of bull crap.
Yeah.
But now I'm going, huh? Listening to more of this and having more belief in it that the way how they'll place stones on your, you know, you're lying on your tummy and they're placing these stones along your body, right? And to realign the energies, right? Kind of makes sense now, right? Because we kind of have the proof of that outside objects, things, or other atoms can have an impact on another atom itself. So why not, with our bodies? So that's a kind of like an interesting to see.
What's interesting for me is that I love like studying about mythology and different cultures. And when I got into the Hinduism, the Indian culture, they have a lot of like the Ayurveda, the Vedic, and all that. That's where the chakra and all that came from, the yogas and meditation. And what's really, really interesting, because they've been already studying this for thousands of years, and I think what she said was there's like the 7 chakras. Like each person is born with a certain amount of chakra. Everybody has an amount, but it's distributed differently. So one is maybe you have a lot here, but not so much here. And the more they say each person is born with a certain deficiency. I mean, except some people are born balanced, but most of the time it's very imbalanced. So in your case, you said your throat. So maybe if they study your chart and everything, they'll find that you have maybe, they call it, there's karma stored in your throat. So maybe that's why you have to work on that. And you're right, the color blue, yeah.
Well, yeah, and before a lot of hospitals, and I think they still do, they paint their walls blue because it's a color that's calms people down the most, and that's why they do that.
But isn't if your throat is a problem in the chakra, isn't that like you can't talk? I mean, you have like
Sometimes.
in a sense.
Yeah, sometimes. They do say that like the blue stones are like the communication stones. So if you do have a hard time, so if you have to like public speak or something, you're gonna want the blue stone with you because that helps with the throat chakra. And blue lace agate. I love blue lace agate. Oh gosh, yeah. I just like, I like them. I do. But yeah, blue stones help the throat chakra.
That's from
you guys. Oh, okay, I didn't know if that was out.
We got an ambulance going across the way. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, but They do help with talking, and if you have a hard time communicating anything, clear your
makes
throat
me,
chakra.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm well hidden, so I don't think they can
Like-
find me. And I did have that mood ring back then. Stevie B, that was like a big thing then. You know, it was a way to I think I was like 13
I
years
love mood
old,
rings.
right? So that it was a way to get the chicks at that time. So
Yeah.
you know, I was pretty cool back then.
I love when
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one of these like blue stones. See if that's gonna help me speak and.
It depends. It depends on the person. Like for example, I like to read. I like to study when I get into a research mode, I get way into this rabbit hole where everything starts like, I got to learn more, and I ended up like studying all about their cosmology, the astrology. So now I can actually study their charts and look at the karma story and stuff.
Okay.
And unlike you, I have a very strong throat. So if I wear blue, it's probably going to enhance more my chattiness.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry.
Well, and see, that's funny. And you would think that I would be fine with that because I have been getting in trouble my entire life for talking too much. So
what?
Go figure. I don't know.
So Amy, you actually you do talk a lot too?
I do.
That's great. I thought you were really like shy and introverted.
Unfortunately, no. I've been getting in trouble at school since like kindergarten for talking way too much.
What?
I got put in a box in the first grade for every recess. I never got a recess in the first grade. My teacher put me in a box because I talked too much.
Okay, do they close the flap or it's open?
Yeah, so what it was this like 3-paneled wood thing, and like the panels were on hinges. And so then she put a desk against a wall and then slide this panel hinge thing around me, and I had to sit in it. And I'm like, you realize that keeping a kid from recess, that kid that talks too much, keeping them from recess is like the worst thing you can do because it only made me want to talk more.
Oh,
get it out of my system.
Yeah, let's see him trying to do that now.
Oh, I know. Oh, they would. But my first grade teacher was also like 90 years old or something at the time. I mean, she was old.
She's old school.
I swear to God, she was 90. She probably was like Little House on the Prairie days. She's old.
What is it? What did they call that back in the prairie? Little House in the Prairie days. What's that age called? Is it the settlers, the
pioneers?
Pioneering age, the age pioneer. Wow, that's so interesting.
That was from the 80s, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Little House on the Prairie. Yeah. The Michael Landon, right? He was a very popular star at that time. Yeah.
So recently, because I also love before I even knew all this, I love collecting gemstones and stuff. I just love that. They're so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend acquired for me these pure ground gemstones paints, and they're really expensive. And I would try to put, when I paint, I would use them. And anybody, like for me, I want to give like a positive experience to people. So I wish them, like when I'm done with it, I put everything inside of it when I draw. And then if I use like gemstones, it becomes literally a jewel painting. And then I would just
so cool.
Wish them well. That's it. Yeah. They'll never know because they're like, oh, it's just paint, but
it's just paint, right? So she told me she was going to order these. She told me she's going to order these gemstone paints, and I didn't think nothing of it, right?
Yeah.
And then I see the bill; it's over $1,000.
Yeah.
And that was okay, not bad. But then when the product actually comes in, you can hold all of it in the palm of your hand. I'm going, that's $1,000. What the heck are you painting?
Because they're so pretty.
It is very pretty. It's really fun.
It did come out pretty. I still don't know if it's worth the $1,000, but okay.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Okay, so I think Kyle wants us to change the topic because it's getting into very esoteric. So now that you're an official comic book author, are you becoming a comic book reader?
You know,
Anything you want to read?
Yes, actually. So Justin introduced me to The Watchmen.
Oh,
I watched the movie and the series.
okay.
And then he bought me my first graphic novel of The Watchmen.
Okay.
And so I have to read that.
Ah, nice.
I need to read that.
Okay. Anything else on the horizon that you're thinking about reading in comics, or?
Probably some Hell Witch and Lady Death pieces. I'm getting interested in that. I did go to. I accompanied Justin to Sworn Fest. I didn't actually go into Sworn Fest because I didn't know anything about it, and I had Gabe, so we went and did our own thing.
Okay.
But you know, just seeing all of the Lady Death fans and stuff, and Haley is a huge Hell Witch fan, so I think I'm gonna. Justin's got a bunch of their comics too, so I'll probably end up reading one of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, Kyle, that the book is much better than the movie, and it was intended for that, and that's why guys like Alan Moore, they don't want to see their comic stories onto the screen because that's not the medium they were written for. If you took it exactly as it is, as he says, it wouldn't work. And I have to agree with him with that. I don't think it would work because there's things that you can do in a comic that allows for that media, for that format. But same thing like if you're trying to do it onto a screen, a movie, it's not going to work if you try to translate it into a comic as well.
So, and what we're doing with Ninja Witch right now, when we wrote it and how we had like Shannon was drawing it and stuff, we wrote it like a cinematic script.
Mm-hmm.
So and the pictures look very cinematic.
Okay.
So
that's going to be
become a movie. It totally could.
Yeah.
And there are people in the industry that actually they write exactly like that. They're writing it like it is going to be onto a screen, a TV, or a movie.
Yeah, they call it, I think, like a pitch,
No, that's just the way how they write.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's because like Brian Bendis writes that way, and that's his style, and he's been doing that from the very beginning.
But that's what they do, though. They usually make it into a comic book and then they pitch it.
Yeah,
so,
but they still trying to make it fit in a comic book format with the way how that works. You know, if it ever gets onto the big screen, there's going to be some changes, but it gives them that visual and the perspectives that they can see. Right? And the cameras, the cameras are constantly moving, just like it would be. Right, and the good thing with that, in the way that you guys are writing it, Amy, is Justin. Okay, is that he has that photography background, which I think is going to help you accomplish that and tell a good story in that kind of a style. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Okay. Hollywood, are you listening? Hollywood is.
I hope they're listening.
Yeah.
There
are hard parts to deal with. I've been in that arena, and it's a lot of waiting, a lot of red tape. But once you get something through, it's you're riding high as a kite on there. You know?
Yeah.
And Mog is one. Going back to the Stones, right? But Mog is she's like into that, right? She had me take a test or something that showed it like where all my flow and energy was, and analyze all this like chakra stuff with that, right? With those 7 chakras, you know.
Yeah.
And you want to say anything about that?
Let me see.
No, you don't have to analyze me.
Oh. What? I thought you wanted to know.
Because you know all that. So it's like an aspect of Ninja Witch that she can do with the stones that she's using?
I don't know much about the stones. All I know is that according to especially the Hindu culture, they really believe in the power of like the energy that it emanates.
Mhm.
So it almost gets into now what would you call a shamanistic ritualistic aspect of it, where people would literally like if you wear this here or there every day, and then you do these mantras, which is practically spells if you think about it, right? And then you do that, then you will become prosperous. So now it's not even about, it's beyond health. They're changing their destiny, their fate, more wealth,
Mhm.
everything. And it's just I don't know if I quite believe in it, but I'm very open-minded. So I just find everything, I just love studying systems. So I would delve into it and study. I know quite a bit of it, but I would only, I don't know if I would actually, I don't practice it, but if anybody wants to know, I can like tell you here and there, but that's about it. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's really fascinating,
Yeah.
the thing about the stones.
So if
But
anybody discovers the stone of wealth, I would like that. Let me know.
it all depends on you. That's why they need a specialist. Like they would have to study your like your chart,
Okay.
your whole destiny, how everything is things. It's all calculated. It's actually quite mathematical. And then once that's calculated, then they will cater to that. And it's almost interesting how everything, there's a system and a clockwork for it.
Uh-huh.
So there's events that's going to happen in your life that you can also predict, and all these things that are actually going to happen. So if it's going to be bad, then you can have it like a little bit preventative and all of that. So
No, so it's going to be different from person to person.
yes, it's like a fingerprint, literally.
Oh, wow. So that's
Everything
not,
is
it's
different.
not
Yeah.
clear at all. So there's
Yeah.
no set formula or anything.
Yeah, but my knowledge is more Eastern. But I don't know, Amy. Like you said, you like to study like and read books about the esoteric subjects. I'm guessing it's more Western, right? Your
You know, I'm still in the beginning stages of this, so I'm just reading anything I can right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder, was there anything like kind of funny, like interesting about, when you were studying about the witchcraft, you said, that's like, this is interesting that you tried to utilize to the story that you did?
Well, you did say that you read a lot of like witch books.
Yeah, you know, the whole burning the witches at the stake, you know, like the witch hunts and everything.
Oh, yes.
Obviously that's got to be in there. There's a lot of that. The witchcraft, you know, spells and incantations, throw those in there. You know, you can make up your own. You can use ones that have already been used. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that we're looking at.
Okay.
When we're doing our research for Ninja Witch.
Okay. Big question here. Okay. Big question. I see that you're dressed in black. Are you a witch?
I just happen to like black. But according to my son, yes, I am a witch. He thinks I'm a witch. I was like, no, I'm not a witch. What are you talking about? He's like, that's exactly what a witch would say.
Actually, yeah. I'm so glad now you asked, because I was wondering, are you practicing? I also was kind of curious, but I didn't want to offend her.
No, don't. I'm not offended. I mean,
obviously, you're
am I a
good
witch? You know,
she's a good witch, because I don't feel
I would be a good witch. Yeah.
threatened or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm attracted to crystals and rocks, and I've always just been fascinated with witches and witchcraft, like my whole life. Actually, just had this conversation with my mom too, and she's been the same way. And I was like, you know, we like being outside. We like nature. We like rocks.
Yeah,
could be.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same way. I like outside. I like being outside. I like nature. I love the ocean. I used to collect rocks when I was young. And
Well, there you go.
I got into it because I was in the Boy Scouts, and one of the things that we had to do was collect and study rocks. So I kind of got into it on that. I had a board, and I would, it had squares in it. I would put the different rocks in there and write what the names are and description of that. Yeah, but I never continued it from there. But it was kind of like interesting at that time.
I only came for precious
Rocks,
stones.
you could be a witch.
Yeah.
No, not
But we
me,
know
no.
better now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Stevie, I'm a stoner, but only precious stoners. I don't do any common rocks.
I do common rocks.
She can be a stoner in a different way, legally. Yes. Legally. Okay.
Legally.
Nothing illegal.
Haley, there is a big Wicca movement happening over here, I've noticed.
Ooh.
They're becoming a lot more common. Not just Wicca, though, like witches in general.
Yeah. Because in the last couple decades now, too, there's a lot more witch stories and witch novels coming out. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Which are fascinating to me. I love it.
Yeah. I actually got into one, and God, I forgot who the writer
Witcher?
was.
You mean The Witcher?
No. Well, okay. Yeah. The Witcher I got into.
Yeah.
I got into that when it got released in the English format here in the United States, and that was back in the early 2000s. So I'm kind of happy to see that. Yeah. As a series, and that guy getting what he's getting. But there's also another writer that I was reading, Throne of Glass or something like that. That series.
Oh yeah.
So
I think Sarah J. Maas is the artist.
Yeah,
I mean the writer.
Okay,
yeah,
that sounds right. So I was reading that, and I forget where. I think I read the first 3 or 4, and it was getting really interesting, but I never continued it. But it is something that I do want to get back on. Yeah,
that's kind of cool because I tried reading it and I went up to book 3, but I had to drop it because it was like a young adult, so it has a lot of like that teenage love triangle angsty stuff.
Yeah, I read through that really fast.
Okay.
But when they started getting into like the witch covens and all that, it was getting really, really interesting.
Oh, okay.
And,
I didn't get to that part.
Yeah, but I never, that's something that I do want to continue back on.
I think Steve is worried for you that when you come back from the break, you're gonna have a shrunken head.
We're kind of like Beetlejuice.
Oh, Stevie cares for you.
Yeah, he always did. He's always like watching my back. Thank you so much, Stevie.
You're so sweet. He has no concern for us. He only has concern for you.
What can I say? You know? Anyway, hey, if you guys like this art right here, it is up for bid. We already have an open bid of $50 on that, and we can accept the next bid on there. We are taking it in $5 increments. So if you want to bid 55 or higher, you can bring this piece home. Okay, and this is Ninja Witch. And if you are into art, make sure you watch Nick Barucci's original art show that comes on Fridays here on The Experience at 4:00 p.m. And that's Pacific Standard Time. He sells a lot of great art and at unbelievable prices. So it's a great way to start your collection if you are just beginning, and get some information about other artists in the industry. And on that note, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with Amy Hunt and Ninja Witch.
Right.
Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find a link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP.
Did you know that across America there are over 2, maybe even 3 live stream producers who can't even afford Mountain Dew? Take Brian here. Brian has gone 2 weeks without a sip of Red Bull. If it goes on much longer, he may take a shower and get a real job. Situations like this are as tragic as they are preventable. Join the experience on YouTube and gain access to special emojis and members-only streams. For less than a cup of coffee, you can keep socially awkward hermit people working from their parents' basements where they belong. Scan the QR code on the screen to join. You'll be glad you did. Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
What if Hans Gruber from Die Hard had to battle the Joker from Batman the Animated Series in a dance battle? Or who would win in a race between Baby from Baby Driver and Snidely Whiplash? If Austin Powers and Shrek found themselves in a hot dog eating contest, who would emerge victorious? These are the questions we talk about on Nerd Killer Warfare. Debate the most absurd questions you've ever heard in popular culture. Register now by scanning the QR code or visiting bit.ly/EXP casting.
Welcome back to Sketch Up with Mog and Mel.
Yes.
We thank you everyone for coming out on a Thursday night, joining us with our special guest here, Amy Hunt, the writer of Ninja Witch. Once again, we have Mog's drawing today of Ninja Witch. That is up for auction. It's currently at $50. You can place a bid of $55 or higher on that. They've got some Ninja Witch has some fantastic covers by some amazing artists. If you can bring that up and take a look at that. Marissa Pope and Mike DeValfo have also contributed a cover, and they're going to be at the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con that's happening in about a couple of weeks. We'll be down there as well. So if you are down there, you can come on out and say hi to us and let us know what you think of the covers that we have here, right? And if you haven't yet already, click on that, get onto the launch page, click on the notification, jump on the Kickstarter when Ninja Witch gets launched on April 19th, okay? You're not gonna wanna let that get away from you, right? And watch for that second issue. It will be coming out later on this year. We've already been notified. So kind of curious, Amy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's good. I have to sign off, everyone. But thank you
Haley.
so much for the show.
Bye, Haley.
Thanks, Haley, for joining us. I really loved your comments on here tonight. You're very prolific.
You're very sweet.
What kind of
biography?
Getting tongue twisted. What kind of biographies do you like to read?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So from a very young age, I started reading. I loved Mickey Mantle biographies. So baseball, like Mickey Mantle, Ty Cobb. I read all of those guys, right? Joe DiMaggio. And then I loved baseball growing up. And then I have read a lot about a few presidents. Who else? I don't know if you guys know this name, Clara Barton. I read that in like elementary school, and I think Clara Barton's biography was the one that really got me liking biographies. I can't quite remember if she was the actual founder of the Red Cross or one of the founders of Red Cross, but that was a really good one. So I liked all of those. I can't remember of any more.
What is some of your favorite ones?
My favorite books or
The biography that you were like blown away.
Yeah.
oh gosh. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Maybe what you recently remember that you read.
Oh, all right. So this is kind of stupid, but the Black Sox. There's one about the Chicago Black Sox from the 1919 World Series, the White Sox from the 1919. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so good. And they have a movie about them too, which is also really good. But the book is that book is really good.
Tell us a little bit about what is intriguing about it.
Yeah, what is a black sock like?
Oh, it's because it's the Chicago White Sox from 1919.
Mhm.
They threw the World Series. And the reason behind it and how they got everybody to do it, and it's
a very interesting story. Yeah, and I do like stories like that too. And I'm not one to read them, but I do like to watch them, and I watch a lot of like docuseries, and I'm kind of happy that they have a lot more now, because there's always like interesting things that come about it. Even some of the things are they're not good, but hopefully people can learn from it. And some of the things are great. You know, people who found something, discovered something, or
have you watched
dealt with something.
HBO has a John Adams miniseries.
Yes.
Paul Giamatti. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is. I think I've watched that like 3 times already.
That's the 2-part one. Is that correct?
No, I think it's got a few episodes.
Okay. It must be a different one. Because I do remember watching a 2-part one of John Adams, and it is very interesting. His life was very, very interesting. Along with a lot of those presidents, even like with Thomas Jefferson as well. Right?
Teddy Roosevelt, he's got some good biography.
Teddy Roosevelt. I love reading Teddy Roosevelt.
He's
I
my
love
favorite.
hearing stories of how he would escape to go play poker or cards with the boys, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. There's very, very interesting stuff. Stuff like that. You know, that makes it cool. I've just been this week. I was watching. I think on Netflix. I think it's called The Frontiersman, and they're reviewing some of the top mountain men, tracker men, guys like Lewis and Clark. Daniel Boone, Kit Carson, those guys, and the kind of lives they had, and their lives are like an action-packed movie, and you're going, man, that's real life.
Yeah.
What these guys like went through and what they had to do, and I'm going,
yeah.
You know, we watch that on screen. You know, we watch like John Wick, and we go, wow, we get blown away, and that's really cool. And for that stuff to happen in real life, it's so far-fetched.
Yeah.
Right. And then you see these guys.
Yeah.
You know, this was their actual life of what they had to live through. You know, running through the prairie naked, being chased by Indians.
Yeah.
You're going, is that for real? Things like that. It's it's really interesting. But so those are I do I don't read, but I do like to like.
Wait, hang on.
So,
your favorite it's like a historic book is I think for you was 1412.
There's
1421.
I forget what is it. It's written by this admiral from the British Navy, the Royal Navy. And he kind of changed the history with the discovery that he made. There was a lost history from the Chinese record that explains how the Chinese had influence all over South America, and they did come into the Americas. And so it's accepted history now, but it's not something that has been changed in in our history books that are being taught. But and that came out in the either late 90s or early 2000s. And I was talking to that with another friend of mine, Tony Moy. He's another artist that's going to be at the amazing Las Vegas show.
Yeah.
He'll actually have a table next to Mog over there. But he's writing. He just discovered about the 442nd Battalion, which is also the 100 Battalion, right? And it's a special battalion that was put together, commissioned by the president at that time for the Japanese to fight in World War II, right? They're the most decorated battalion that the U.S. has had, but there's not a lot of people have don't remember who they are or don't know them.
Yeah,
There's
they like
been movies on them. There has been stories on them, but it's still not prolific. And now Tony is taking that, and he's kind of doing an in-depth study and writing his own, kind of like a comic, but it's online.
It's free.
And you can see that for free if you want to check that out. Do a search on Tony Moy, and you'll get to that.
I think she had a question.
Yeah.
What was your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't think I had a question.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So the interesting part of that is that the 442nd included Hawaii Senator Inouye, who was really prolific in the 442nd, being one of the leaders there. But that's something else. I don't want to tie that into here.
Then you go into a long.
And so once again, don't forget to jump on that launch on the Kickstarter, which is on April 19th. Click
Ninja
that
Witch.
link, hit that notification button, jump on it, and get on this book. You're not going to want to regret that. We have these beautiful covers that are popping up here.
Yes.
And we'll see that. What is, did we say, Amy, which cover did you like the best? No, you don't have to.
You don't have to tell us.
Honestly, everyone is just, every time they come in, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is, they're just all amazing. I can't pick one.
She gave a politically correct question. That's a good one.
It's just so hard. I mean, they're just so amazing. And then so we have a few covers, Mogs included, that are traditionally colored too, which is just incredible. So Mogs, Bellas, and Idens are all
traditional. Okay.
With I think Mogs with watercolor.
Right.
Bella and Iden used, I want to say it was color pencil and marker and stuff, and probably some paint in there too. But I find that fascinating that it doesn't have to be digital.
Yes,
it's really cool.
Yeah, that's the media that Mog likes. She does do digital, but it's mostly traditional, and we like that because there's a certain I don't know. What do you want to say? There's a certain way on how it looks. It's not so polished, so clean, so smooth looking. That it's almost like how people like listening to the old albums, LPs. You want to hear those scratches and those nicks and clicks.
Yeah.
And the traditional media allows for that, giving it a little more character. I wanted to take a picture of Mog holding up the actual piece, so that way you can see how big it is. And I didn't have a chance to do that. I wanted to do that in the last few days, but the timing was bad because it's so overcast, and we just couldn't get good lighting. And I tried to look at it, go, oh man, it's not coming out. It looks too dull here. So
I'm in Washington.
Once we get the sun out, I'll take that picture. We'll post it up, and then everybody can get a good look at it. But it's still not going to look as good as if you saw it in person there.
Yeah. And one thing, Amy, I liked that nobody did but you. It's like you pronounce my name differently, And I really like that because if you really pronounce my name in proper, I would say Korean, it's like Mog. And
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, and
Yeah.
she got the closest ever.
You're you're
Yay!
Nobody did it ever in my life. I've been living here for over 20 years.
that's
No one ever got except her.
that is true because I've always called her
Yeah.
Mog. And then
All
when I
right.
go visit her parents, and I heard her mom call her, and she said Mog. So, huh? Have I
Mog.
been saying it wrong?
Mog.
And you didn't correct me.
It did correct.
It's too much. But you know what, the way Amy said it, I'm like, who is this person? and then she said it, I was like, oh, is this like a French person? Wow, it's so sophisticated. And I was like, that's my name. Wow. She made my name sound so cool.
Yeah. Well, I always said it was cool. When we first met, the first day that I met Mog, it was actually at the San Diego Comic-Con. And we had scheduled to meet for business. Right? So we were going to go to dinner. It was with a big group of people that she was a part of. And when she told me that her name was Mog, I said, wow, that's an interesting name for an artist. Mog the artist. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know? And I never heard that before. But since then, I'm finding out all these other Mogs that exist in the world. There's like a Mog in Final Fantasy. There's a car that was actually developed and was in production, I think, for about like 20 years in the 1920s or 30s. We actually found out about that when we were at the Chicago last year, and a friend of ours brought us over to his house, and he showed us this model of the car that was actually called the Mog, and he was the one telling us that this actually existed, and he was holding this on until he'd had a chance to give it to her, right? So now that we have that, there's a book that she's working on that's called Ruxy the Vampire with Kurt Zauer for KG Comics. It's actually a new series, right? So he's kind of written that car into the script.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I told Kurt, okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to create like a pinup page and that he can probably use it like in some other way as well. But it's got to have the characters standing outside of the car, and Mog's got to draw herself in there as well.
I love that.
Yeah. So then I also found there's another artist. This guy's actually from Russia that lives in New York, and he's more of a fine artist, and his name is Mog.
What?
Yeah. And actually, Mog's a little bit more of a common name in Russia.
No way. I've never seen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We're actually friends with him on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. But he's at a totally different level. Very, very popular. We don't know him, but in his world, he's very well known.
Huh.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jillian.
And hope I didn't speak to it. It seems like I'm talking too much. But on that note, we're going to take a final break here. And then we'll come right back. And we are still accepting bids on what Mog is drawing here, the Ninja Witch. So if you want to place a bid on that, $55 or higher, we'll go ahead and bring that home. So we'll be right back.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crib. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out. There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I'm your host, Henry Compa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody, welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectibles.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to Sketch Up on the Experience. If you haven't yet, get onto the Experience, hit that subscribe button. If you saw all the shows that were come out on the commercial break, you can see that there's like a lot of content, right? There's a lot of things happening here that you don't want to miss. And we want to thank Amy for being on the show. That was really great. Once again, make sure you hit that, get onto that, hit that notify button in the launch page there for Ninja Witch, and get as much of those covers that you can on there. And I do want to apologize. I said that Haley was had the winning bid on this Ninja Witch that Mog is drawing, but it's actually Stevie B. This guy has been buying up a lot of Mog's art, and he's probably got like a great wall of Mog. Probably going to turn it into a museum pretty soon with the number of pieces that he has going out there. So I want to thank you for
I really
that.
appreciate it.
Yeah, and be sure if you are going to be in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks, we will be at the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. We have a big art gallery that we're going to show there, which will include the cover to Ninja Witch, which is a gigantic size original traditional piece at 19.5 by 25.5 inches. It will be framed and available for purchase. So if your pockets are deep enough, you will be able to take this home.
It's so pretty. I love that.
To be honest with you, I really don't mind hanging on to this for a little while longer.
And there's a lot of symbolism incorporated in this piece. Because she is, if you zoom in a little bit to her kimono on the sleeves, I put Western flowers like the rose, because it, that symbolizes West, but it's on a kimono to kind of symbolize her origin. So I was trying to mix the Western element with the Eastern element and then put it together. So and if you read the story. Thank you. If you read the story, guys, you will see the significance of what all of these things are.
Yeah, what we'll probably do is when Mog does a piece, right, she can actually fill a page or two describing what elements are in there and the symbolism and all that. So I'm going to have her do that for this, and then we'll put that up there for everyone to read. And it's something that I like to have for the shows as well. So, because I can't remember everything. And sometimes there's people that are like asking because they know her for this and they want to know what everything is in there. So eventually it will get to that. So there's a question on here. Amy, what cons can we find you at?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the cons happen during sports season for my son. So, like I was supposed to be at Emerald City last month, and then lacrosse happened, and he wasn't supposed to have a lacrosse game that weekend. And surprise, surprise, he had one. So Justin went. I had to stay back. I got to stay back. Excuse me. I got to stay back to watch my son. And then Justin will be at Rose City, which is in, I want to say September.
Yeah, September.
Which means football season for my son.
Oh.
So I'll miss that one too. But I am always able to make an appearance at Grit City Comic-Con in Tacoma, which is just a one-day one, which we always have a great time at. We love it. Okay. So I am usually able to make an appearance there, but my kid is at that age with sports and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to see what we can work out there and see if we can kind of get a group together with you and Mog.
Yes.
Kind of like a Ninja Witch thing going on there. Right.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We love the project. We like it. Great. And the thing is, like with what like Stevie B says here, even without knowing the story, it's a great cover, and it just sounds like interesting. So we're really excited to see this book come out and get our physical hands on it. So we can see the art and the story that you guys have come up with and enter this world of the Ninja Witch.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so.
I love the fact that Amy, you keep keeping it really hush hush. You're really not divulging anything.
I know. So. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. I know it's mine, and I could really just let loose and let it all out. But I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, besides the covers, right? What else can we expect to see in the Kickstarter?
Yeah. Do you know?
That you can tell us.
Can you tell us? Or is it a surprise?
I'm looking at my notes, what he left me, what I'm allowed to say.
Right.
Let's see. We'll have several tiers with the campaign. We will have some original art from our cover artists.
Nice.
And there will be some pencils from the interiors that we will also put in the tiers too. So that's an option.
Very nice.
And then, some other little goodies.
Fantastic. All right. And once again, that will be launching on April 19th. But get to that launch page, hit that notification button, make sure you don't miss this opportunity, and get all the covers and the original art on there. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to be blown away with some of that. And I will say this, even Mog has some additional artwork that's in there. Okay, so you heard that. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's something that she liked doing because of the material, and so that'll be interesting to see there. Right. And
did we get a part that says absolutely do not say this, because I'm not seeing that anywhere in my notes where I'm not supposed to say it. Did you guys see the deer in the headlights look in my eye when I read that? I was like, oh my gosh, did I miss something? No.
Yes. Yeah, I know. That part was funny. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I haven't heard. Is Justin still in the air? Do you think? Is he still flying?
I think he is. Yeah, I think he should be landing pretty soon. He left it. I think it's a 2-hour flight, and he left at 7.
Okay.
So he totally missed the show.
He missed the entire thing.
Okay, then I can say that the timing was most excellent.
No, I know. I was like, wait, what? You're going to be in the air during this time? I don't know what I'm doing.
Eventually, you'll be able to watch the show, but by then it'll be too late.
And he'll be like, dang it, Amy, what did you just say?
You said that.
You gave away the farm.
Yeah. Hey, it's your fault, dude.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he gets for leaving me unsupervised.
Exactly.
And well, you know what? You can say that, look, it's my character, my story anyway. You're just the artist.
Yeah, but in this case, as a couple, it's a teamwork. So yeah. But I did like what Amy you said about how it became a listening. Your turn now.
Yeah.
My turn. Like that's the way you worked out the listening thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we work well. We work well together.
Great, and we're looking forward to seeing this come out. I want to thank everybody for joining us in tonight. You could have been somewhere else, doing something else tonight, but we still have the bid on this for Mog's piece. If you want to turn something in at the final seconds, it is at 55 going to Stevie B. And he says, I enjoy Mog's work, but the other collectors by not being here are actually missing an opportunity to own some of this work. It's when I have to buy more wall space that I'll feel the monetary pinch.
Oh. Yes.
I don't know how big of a wall you got, but eventually, Stevie B, you've got to send us a picture of your wall. That's going to be kind of like interesting to see.
Yeah, Stevie.
And any last comments you want to say, Amy, before we say goodbye to everyone?
Yes.
This is going to be a really, if I do say so myself, a really kick-ass book. So go ahead and get notified, and jump on it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride.
Yep, and it is. Okay, and as soon as that book is probably delivered, they're going to be ready to launch issue number 2. So you won't have long to wait for that next issue. Not like how a lot of people on Kickstarter, it's almost like you got to wait a year on average for the next issue to come out. Not with this book. Okay.
No. The direction that we're going with this is just really easy to. We just have so many stories right now that we just need to get down.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us.
Yes.
Stay tuned with us next week. Next week we will have Christy Shin and Don Wynn. And we'll be talking about their projects and CAPS, the California Art Professionals Society, and what they do for the industry. They will also be joining us at in Las Vegas at the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. So go ahead and follow us there. Follow Amy on Ninja Witch, and thank you very much for joining us again tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.